Welcome in, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Kind of a special interview, special case here. I've got Jack.
Hi, I'm Jack Werner. I own A to Z Inspections out of Oklahoma City. I have been working with Siva as a business coach, a personal coach, for about a year, and I've been very pleased at Siva helping me focus on the things that I knew I needed to focus on. Siva, I think you had some questions you wanted to ask me and you want me to answer.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to ask you some questions today. The first question is just from the heart. I had some stuff written down, but Jack, you're from the outside looking in, you're a very successful person. You have a good partner, you have a good home, you have a good source of income. And for most people, you live the definition of success. Why to you is it important that you get coaching? Why is that important?
I hope this resonates, it makes sense, but the analogy for me is like, a pond just builds scum on top because there's no flow. And I believe we always need to learn. I believe we can always grow and improve. And that to me is exciting. So yes, I do have a great life. I don't owe a penny to anybody. I make a great income. I've got wonderful people that work with me in the inspection business, and you couldn't have a better partner than Suzanne. And my kids are grown and out, and they're all successful, and they don't call Dad and say, "Can you send money?" And so I do have a great life, but absolutely. I think all of us fight that wheel. I constantly look at my life as a kind of the YWCA thing, or goals is kind of a wagon wheel, when it's character and it's career and it's relationships and it's health and it's body, your physical body and all of those things. And the fact is, I think every one of us gets out of balance in one or two areas. If you're like me, I'm suddenly focusing on business from 6 in the morning to midnight, and I'm not paying attention to my kids like I should, or to Suzanne like I should, or maybe I'm letting my exercises go. And a coach helps me I love the feeling of, gosh, I'm keeping a pretty balanced life. That's what's powerful, joyful, and successful, and that's what coaching does.
It makes a lot of sense, and I like that analogy with the pond and the scum. My first question would be, before we started working together, what was your situation like regarding business, home life? I mean, when we met, how were things looking?
I have a really good life. It's just been wonderful. I love my 40-plus year involvement in Rotary, and I got great friends. But the fact is, I was feeling, I guess frustrated maybe is the right word, that kind of sense back here that something's off, because I knew I wasn't keeping the balance that I wanted to. For one thing, very big thing, very bluntly, I wasn't being the man I wanted to be with Suzanne. It's important to me that Suzanne feel cherished and valued and loved, like we did when we dated,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gosh, suddenly it's all the attention and let me do everything for you. And then suddenly it's like, okay, I've got you, we've been together 15 years and I'm off and I'm busy, and that's not the way I want it. I know things are important. Most of us kind of know where we need to be working, but I need somebody to kind of punch me on the arm and say, hey, and you've been helping me do that every week. And then I say, okay, here's things I can do. So, does that answer?
Mm-hmm. And so now that you have that awareness, and now that you kind of are at least looking at those balancing acts in your life, I mean, what has that done for you?
I feel much happier. I've always been an optimistic guy. I love to work. I love my business. So that's one thing. But I get off. If I don't have somebody there kind of bringing me back online, I'm suddenly, all my time's off of my business. And that's joyful, and business is important. I believe in working. If you look at my white hair, I plan on working until I can't crawl out the door. But I also believe in my kids and in Suzanne and in Rotary and these other things. And I've got to have balance in that. And I don't know that I'll ever get away. I don't see ever getting away from coaching, because I need somebody to kind of say, hey, come on, let's bring it back.
Mm-hmm. So Did you have any hesitations or doubts when starting this coaching journey with me? And
Sure.
if so, like what were they?
I think my biggest doubt, Siva, was I'm an old guy. Siva's a child. I've had several successful businesses that I don't owe a penny to anybody and things like that. What can Siva tell me? But the fact is I realized rather quickly was I don't go to Siva for the answers. I probably know the answers, but it's getting me to bring them out and lay them up here and say, yes, that's important. It's bringing me, the analogy I like, which you've heard me use, I've read that pilot, when you fly the plane to Hawaii, that the plane's always on automatic pilot. But the pilots are there because every once in a while that wind turbulence or this or that, the plane's suddenly off just a tad, and suddenly they're going to miss Hawaii by hundreds of miles.
Mm-hmm.
And the pilot's job is to bring it back in line. And that's your job with me. Just kind of bring me back in line and get me to focus on the things I know I'm supposed to focus on. So I've been very pleased with that.
Yeah, so if there were more doubts, or with that doubt, how did I kind of help you overcome those doubts, even with just like, okay, well, how are we going to make improvements?
I don't know if you would say it the same way I would, but the fact is it would be back to I'm here to help you identify the things you already know. Mm-hmm. You know where your wheel is out of balance. You know you're not spending time with your kids. And life, I mean, there may be, gosh, when the kids are in school and all playing football and soccer and basketball, it's going to be out of balance for the kids. I understand life's going to be up and down, but we control a great deal of that. And when we're not paying any attention to our business because we're just going to the games and calling everybody and talking about it, we're not going to keep making the house payment, you know? Mm-hmm. And you just help me bring what I know. I know I need to be spending more time on my main customers and out there making sales, mm-hmm. right? So I know those things, you know those things. Your job is just to say, okay, you've identified them. Now how are we going to do it? What steps can we take week by week to be better?
Yeah. So what was the biggest realization or breakthrough that you had during the program in our time together?
Well, our time together, I think the biggest breakthrough that's exciting is just by you being there saying, Jack, we agreed when I left last week you were going to do this, 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 and this. Mm-hmm. Tell me what you've done. And I'm thinking, gosh, Siva's going to come. I got to get it because I said it was important to me to exercise, so I got to get up this morning and do my exercises. And I did, by the way.
Well, there's something.
Yeah.
So what, in terms of results, what specific results have you had or shifted during our time together?
You know, the only results that in the end that count, we could say, oh, it's money and it's love or all these things. All the results are up here. And I think the biggest result is the excitement, the fun, the pleasure, the joy of feeling like I am really working on becoming, moving more toward every day the man I want to be.
I would agree with you. That is the most thrilling part of the whole life journey. It's not about necessarily the destination, but you fall in love with the journey and the experience.
Yeah, that's the old saying. That's the journey. The journey. Yeah. You hear people say journey's half. The journey's all the fun. When the journey's over, we're over.
Yeah. So I'm 100% with you there. So who would you recommend this program to, and why? Who would you recommend coaching to, and why?
I believe deeply that vast majority, everything I've read, all my friends, the vast majority of people have wishes and have some maybe life goals. You know, I'd like to do this or that. I'd like to go to Yellowstone, or I'd like to make 100,000, or whatever it is. Most people don't go to the problem to write those things down, and I encourage you to do that. I'm a deep believer in that. And then I think I would pick a number and say I think 60%, maybe 80% of the people go around every day with that fairly deep grain, that little rock in their shoe that says, I'm not really trying to become all I can be, or I'm not effectively trying to become all I can be, and I'm not happy. I think anybody, I don't care if you're, guys, I'm 77, you know, I don't care if you're 24 or 77 or whatever it is. We just got back from Santa Fe, and Suzanne went to a program. A lady was offering her book, one of the top sales leaders in real estate in the world. And by the way, she has a closing in New York in March of 2025. This lady was 100 years old.
Wow.
And sat there at the bookstore looking as sharp and as crisp as she could be. And my point is, I mean, I think that's pretty fascinating. But age doesn't matter. I don't care if you're a teenager or you're 100 years old. We've all got goals. We've all got desires. Isn't it important to move toward what I know I want to be and should be and can be?
Makes sense. And I'm 100% there with you on writing your goals down. If you're listening, write your goals down. If that's the basic, most bare thing that you can do for yourself is writing your goals down. Studies have literally shown your goal is more likely to happen by 42% if you simply just write your goals down. It can be that easy. Can life be that simple?
Guys, and it's not just talk. I would say you write them down, and the other magic part of that is look at them every day. I carry mine. I have a set on the bathroom mirror.
That's a great idea. I didn't even know that.
I carry a set with me, and I have a set on the desk.
3 sets.
Take 2 minutes to look at your goals every day. You'll be astounded how much faster they happen.
That's a great idea, Jack. Thank you for showing that, and thank you for sharing that. I didn't even know that about you. So that's incredible. So is there anything that you would change or improve about my coaching and the program?
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't give me all those assignments. No, you know I don't mean that. I do. I think, oh God, they're so helpful. You know, so yeah, I like that very much.
Is there anything else that you would like to share about your business, your experience?
I would say, and I know it's hard, gosh, especially when you're raising kids. We've raised 6 kids, and all doing very well, very proud of them and pleased. We had 4, adopted 2, and kind of semi-raised a nephew that I dearly love. I certainly don't mean run out and buy a boat or something like that, but keep in mind there isn't anything more important. We're in Christmas and we're spending money on gifts, and we talk about clothes, and gosh, do we buy a new car and the dishwasher, and all those things are important decisions. But the single most important thing to spend money on is investing in your self-improvement. And you and I know that each of us, no matter where we're at, can get better and be stronger and be more joyful. Nothing is more important than investing money in yourself to get there. That doesn't mean I need to run out and buy a new $1,000 suit. It means I need to invest in coaching, or I need to go take a Dale Carnegie course, or I need to get an additional degree or certification. Invest in yourself.
I 100% agree, Jack. I mean, especially I tell young people, if you don't have that many life expenses yet, spend your money in coaching. That's what I've done for years and years. And every single time you invest in yourself and you invest in a program like that, you get the return 10 times fold, because really your knowledge is compounding. You might have that course that takes 6 months to get through, but then you have that knowledge for the rest of your life. It's something that absolutely nobody can take away from you. Not only does it make you a more confident and well-rounded person, but it helps you get to where you want to be in life. So 100%.
And when you say nobody can take it away from you, I want to interject. Once you reach up this next step, you don't go back. You're forever there, and you keep on moving up.
That's so true. That is so true. Yeah, it helps you get not only that next step up, but to the next and next and next. And before you know it, you're living a completely different life. So I want to thank Jack for coming here. This is one of my favorite clients. And, you know, if you're looking at success in general and living an abundant life, Jack is an excellent example. Not only does Jack do so much for his family and his business, but he does so much for the community here, and he embodies a generosity and just a compassion that a lot of people work very hard to cultivate. So Jack, if you would talk about your business, talk about your works, I would love for everyone to hear about that.
I've been in Rotary for over 40 years, and I guess that kind of imbues that involved in the community, and let's help make it a little better world. And I told Siva when we first met, I give several $1,000s a year to charities, and you know, somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000. And I said, you know, one of my goals is to get that up to $20,000 a year. And the point is, I don't mean this in a bragging way. Guys, when you write down a goal, and especially when you got somebody coaching you, it's astounding how much faster you reach it. I've already hit that figure, and Siva and I just started working about a year ago because I'm focused on it, and the other components that help me make the income to get there to do that. So the fact is, I hope everybody has a heart for charitable giving, and believe me, I understand. We get the phone calls, we get the cards in the mail. I'm fortunate because I've been in one city since I got back from Vietnam, and involved deeply in the chamber and in Rotary, so I know people and I know the effectiveness of organizations. I wouldn't advise anybody, as heart-rendering as some of those postcards or TV ads are, give the people you know that are functioning in those foster care facilities, or helping the pets, or whatever it might be, whatever you care about. That I'm not trying to tell you what to care about, but take the time to go visit them. You know, find out, gosh, are they really doing what they say? We don't want to give to a charity and we suddenly find out, like the Red Cross scandal several years ago, where such great percentage was going to not where it was supposed to go.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. I don't mean to pick on it's pleasurable, and I believe deeply. I've told my kids, as we used to go to the park on Saturdays and pick up trash, and several of us Rotarians go down by the river here in Oklahoma City every Sunday morning and pick up trash, and you're invited if you want to go. But as I told my kids when we go to the park, I'd go in and wake them up and say, we don't want to pick up trash today, Dad, but we'd go to the park and pick up trash. Because the point is, I told my kids, this isn't Oklahoma City's park. This isn't Wiley Post Park or anything else. This is your park. It's your city. We have a responsibility to it. And that's exciting. It's not just, oh, I got to go pick up trash. It's mine. And that's a good feeling. And I've probably talked enough, but I hope that you think about those things, because it's really helpful in being more the person you want to be.
I love that. What a beautiful sentiment. Will you tell everyone about your business and your business model, in case there's some real estate agents watching or someone who's looking to buy a house in Oklahoma City?
A to Z Inspections. We're in our 23rd year. I have a PhD in finance. I spent 27 years with John Hancock, and I gutted and remodeled homes, and just found I loved crawling all over homes. And after the kids were all gone and out of college and a couple of years and things, I had freedom to start a new business, and I did this. I believe deeply in continual learning, and you can probably tell that. I went back to school and got a degree in construction. We've got over 30 different certifications in our company. My son joined me after he got back from, I think it was second tour in Iraq, and he's been with me about 15 years. We are certified in commercial building inspections. We are certified in ADA compliance inspections for commercial properties. We have the Hague engineering certification for both commercial and residential roofing, and 15 or 20 other, more than that, certifications. We believe deeply in continual learning. We teach and have training meetings twice a month. So, like what I do, residential inspections, we go everywhere in the state of Oklahoma. Commercial inspections, we cover 6 contiguous states. I can't have trouble with those big words. And we have an excellent reputation, which we strive to earn every year as being the most thorough inspectors out there. We teach inspections, and as well as some courses for the National Association of Home Builders and Community Action Agency and some people like that. I'm Jack Werner. I own A to Z Inspections, and my number is 405-406-1790. Thanks.
Well, thanks so much, Jack. And if you need a very thorough home inspection, please contact Jack Werner with A to Z Inspections. And thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.
Thank you.